Why can Kristen not be my friend and
I'm just
not
joking. Wait.
Wow.
Woo!
I'm not convinced I hear you on the
21.
stream.
That
Holy
was
shit.
crazy. The time flies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I need to mute the
I
stream.
didn't see
Oh god, oh god.
Isaac levitating on screen.
No, so wait, Theo, you can hear stream?
Am I?
Oh,
I
you
see.
were for just getting on the stream.
You're coming?
Why would why?
Okay, I'll tell
Why
chat.
would you
I'll
say
tell
that?
him. I mean, it's mostly just Nalf, so I'm mostly just telling Nalf that you're coming right now.
Ew. Oh.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say that was very Minnesotan of you.
Oh yeah,
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
imagine.
Yeah.
Says who?
Can you Minnesotans all say boat for me?
Boat?
Oh.
It's a bit disappointing. Yeah.
What do you think
We're
I was
talking
gonna
like
go? Oh, get on the boot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what Flip
dude.
does sometimes.
Boot. Boat.
Boot boot.
Oh.
It's not a curse, it's fun.
You were only in Minnesota for like what? 9 years? You still picked up some mannerisms.
Yeah, those
Those were formative years.
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Those are like were my important years.
My biggest.
Like now. These years, who cares?
Yeah, listen.
Who cares? They
Do
just
whatever you want, really.
Not doing
they
much right
slip
now.
by like the sands of time.
Why is this one picking up everything? Or is it picking up my fan? Can you guys talk for me for a second?
Come,
Talk,
piss,
talk,
shit,
talk,
ass,
talk.
fuck.
Talking.
Is that really how loud my fan is? Oh,
So much to talk about.
Olay. Ah!
Olay.
Okay. It should be fine now. Okay. I might be quiet. Man, you guys are being so friendly to chat right now. What the fuck? It's crazy.
Chat deserves it.
Do they?
That deserves the world.
Do they?
So true.
All right.
So true.
Without
Steve.
further ado, wasted enough of our
No!
time. Welcome to Heroes of Terofane, the scuffed
You're getting timed
edition,
out.
because for some reason,
Oh.
shit's fucked up. But either way, we are back in this world. Who wants to do the recap? If you do it as your character, then you get an inspiration. And if not, then I will say it. I shall do it. And nobody gets inspiration.
Can you do it and give me inspiration?
No.
Okay.
I've still got some pocket inspiration from like 6 months ago, so I'm good.
I used my.
Just use
I
it.
have it
Use
from
it.
last session.
To check if I still have one.
I think everybody's kind of done it. Nobody uses their inspiration.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think I use mine the most.
It's so
Do you-
useful, and you can get it almost every session.
Do you have to declare it before you
No.
do something?
It is
Oh,
the
okay.
in my version of the rules, it is the end all be all of the re-roll thing. You can basically tell me or anybody else to re-roll whatever you want as long as you have an inspiration. I might set special boundaries for it, but except for like after, of course, the thing's already happened. Like if you get hit and you're already down on the ground, dying or dead, you can't be like, well, I want to use my inspiration to re-roll that. But basically, I'm trying to use inspiration like special story points so that you guys can kind of influence things a bit more directly than usual. Like, you know, same system with Wrath and Glort. You got your stuff to make whatever become what you want with the wrath that you get. Anyhow, that only makes sense to two
I
of
don't
you
speak
guys.
nerd.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, only Jared and I get it.
I understand.
So,
I get it.
does anybody
Yes,
want
same.
to do the recap, or shall I?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Enough accounts.
You know
don't
what?
remember. It was fucking nuts.
Or Hundofear can.
Yeah, I think.
You know what? Yeah.
If it was nuts, you'd
speaking
do
of
it.
Using inspiration.
Perfect example, actually.
So, you know, we've been stationed or not stationed in this
Okay.
camp for a couple of hours now. That's what all it's been, right? We haven't been here that long. It feels like we've been here a while, but
Yeah, it's only been maybe like a half a day. Maybe a little bit
Yeah.
more than that.
and you know, based on my culture where I live and what I understood of the cannibals culture so far, I figured it would be a good strategy to ingratiate ourselves with them by proving ourselves in a rite of combat. And this took the form of me guiding Blindbeak into challenging one of the brutes to a fight that did not go very well, and I intervened, breaking the rules, but he accepted nonetheless. And after a long bout that almost resulted in my death too, I bested my opponent, proving myself to them, and hopefully swaying them further to our cause to fight the White Dragon invader. That's what matters to Hundolfir.
Indeed. Good recap. You did the inspiration is deserved. So, you had arrived at this camp and were trying to figure out ways to gain the trust of these cannibals, and entered into that fight whilst another group was running away, discovering, kind of fighting a Frogiathan, a massive version of a Froghemoth, and they got back just in time to see the fight with Hundolfir. There was a bit of running around. Sov went to try to get help from the shaman, Dr. Volin Mox, as some of you know her. But it was unneeded as Hundolfir narrowly but very heroically won the bout. And so,
Through the grace of Coral Dig.
True. Definitely showing off your divine capabilities of your pantheon. So, now we find ourselves here, and from last time, Hundolfir, you were kind of watching the process as they take apart this cannibal brute and start to cook them up in a nice sacrifice stew. And then, whilst the other group surrounding Blindbeak were watching as a lot of the cannibals seem to be at least wary of Blindbeak, if not sending some suspicious, hateful eyes towards him. So, I will leave it off to that. Is there any?
Last session, I spoke the God of Death, like, I used the God of Death's voice. Did that do anything?
No, you're still doing that?
What do you mean? You made me roll a Constitution roll.
No, but that was all after the session. It didn't actually. I mean, you could still use the voice of the of Lady Death.
You sound very concerned.
Well, you know, there might or might not be effects to that, which is what I was
that seems
hinting
like
at.
something that would have side effects.
Guys, should I do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know if I'd listen to that.
Do it.
What episode?
You ever seen that movie Drag to Hell?
Pharaoh can't help you if anything.
Totally
happens.
unrelated.
I'm not a
All I'm
Good,
saying is I
good.
rolled a good Constitution roll.
How good?
Like a 20.
Good.
Why?
Yeah,
Like
sorry.
a
I'm
dirty
over
20.
Was it a dirty 20?
As I told you before, I wasn't gonna allow that roll. You're gonna have to do it again.
I'm not re-rolling that shit. Come on.
Then don't.
I said
then
you'll roll a
don't
20. It's okay. You always do.
Yeah, just roll
Just
it.
do it.
Already that, yeah.
It's guaranteed to happen.
Do it?
100%.
Yeah, I'm very supportive of this.
Is it a
There are
Constitution
no
save or
flaws.
is it Constitution?
No possible downsides to this.
It's a make a Constitution and then a Charisma saving throw.
Charisma.
Constitution save or Constitution?
No, it's a Constitution. Both are saving throws.
See, that's the thing. I'm gonna use my inspiration.
Yeah, nat 20 right here.
Inspiration
It's
moment.
another two.
Lord.
Oh my
Oh
lord!
my god.
Punished.
I hate it
Punished.
here,
Charisma saving throw,
I
please.
shouldn't be punished for this. I rolled well, and now you're taking back your
He said it wouldn't count.
I did say that.
Oh, man.
Jesus.
All of
This is
blind.
You
not
didn't say
honest,
yesterday.
All of the karma.
not-
from all
not
those nat 20s is
yesterday, I
finally
mean,
catching up
Last
with you.
last
It
time.
really
If
is.
last session was yesterday. I work by everything doesn't exist.
Quinn only
except
lives during
days.
D&D.
Yeah. You're telling me it wasn't yesterday? Anyhow,
Flint hibernates the rest of the time.
I would like Treyas and Sinbad to make
Oh my
Constitution saving throws as well.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
The
What I
Whispers.
was
Is it
thinking
me?
is,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah.
it would affect me.
The
Oh, no.
So the Whispers.
Oh,
Oh
fuck.
God,
The
guys.
Whispers. Thankfully,
You guys told me to.
Thankfully, the call of Queen Nero,
Death.
the Queen of Death, wasn't very loud. So when you try to replicate it, it's more of a whisper. But even just hearing it slightly, very, very hushed, when you make out the words, your body seems to have a very visceral reaction. It's as though you feel the sense of dropping, but nothing moves, and it's just that it's a drop of dread. It's that feeling when you see something absolutely terrible in front of your own eyes, but it's inexplicable. You don't really know what it is, except that it has something to do with the words that Blindbeak says. Everybody in this 3 spot, everybody, since you all failed your Constitution saving throws, you all fail a death saving throw, which would count for your next unconscious state, or death's door state, or for your next death's door's state. And will go away at a undetermined time. But you just feel this sense of dread, and like you got closer to the to an unknown edge of your consciousness, aka death. But
In 4th
Blind
edition,
Beak,
we call this doomed.
Blind Beak, you
If it's
also
on record,
you also feel
If
these
it's on-
effects, and specifically your mind is almost taken over by it. And for a moment, again, you had that depersonalization that you were having and the kind of edge of undeath before, and thankfully the cat Orange was able to help you somewhat with that. But unfortunately, it comes back once again, and your body you start to feel unlike yourself, and your mind starts to question who this very Blind Beak being even is. And you have disadvantage on certain saving throws until your consciousness is back resolute within your body.
Jesus.
guys, I was.
You feel very
wanna
in
say-
tune with death, though. You feel strange ebbs and flows around you. Your blind sight is actually a little bit worse right now. It seems to have weird pockets, but you feel a new sort of sense. Instead of sensing the ki, the energy of the life around you, you feel the opposite of that. You feel the ever-present death. You almost feel like you can feel how close every individual is around you to death.
Oh.
It
Are we
kinda fucks
close?
with me, but it's also kind of cool. Yeah, who's the closest right now?
Your allies are a strange case. You see, Dante is actually one of the closer ones. And then the cannibals around you are second as well, pretty tied up. But then your allies are a weird case, as they almost seem to be muddled. They seem to be they seem to have no, like, you can't really feel that feeling. They're almost blind to this sense, and more so you have to rely on your actual ki, your energy sense to sense them. Especially
Yeah, that's
Treyas.
crazy.
Treyas specifically is kind of not affected by age or death in its natural forms. So, but it actually feels pretty strong from Sav, I'll say, compared to the others. Sinbad and Feyre are more so of that. You can't really sense death from them, but you sense a little twinge of it, like it's a possibility. Sav is already pretty bad, but that's just because Sav got the bone boys.
Bone.
Who's there?
Bone boys.
Quinn, you got some
my God.
you got some of your roommates around there.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Since Finn's not around anymore.
Yeah, you can't yell at Finn anymore.
Can't bully Finn, so we have to bully we have to bully Quinn's roommates.
Bully Isaac.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Is that your
Isaac,
The
go-to?
voices
Yeah.
the voices are
That
hard.
makes sense.
Quinn!
Isaac, you have to tell yourself to shut the fuck up.
What happened?
Quinn! I'm muting Quinn.
But yes, that's why people use it. Is because
Oh, it was Quinn talking.
Alright.
Quinn, I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So one failed death saving throw.
Yeah, one failed death saving throw.
How do we mark
Keep
this?
that in mind.
Okay.
That only matters if you go down.
Yeah.
I'll never go down again.
I will. It goes away after a long rest. I'll actually say that. But
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
but you do feel this effect.
Guys, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Really?
Well, that's
Same.
concerning.
Oh.
You probably shouldn't feel that way, given that you're. What I assume you don't age.
Chris shrugs.
How old
You can die
are
other
you
ways
actually,
from
Reyes?
aging.
Aren't you like 3, Trace?
Oh wow! I think
Yes.
we're both 3.
Yeah.
Both of you? We have youngsters in this group. I didn't
We're
realize.
little babies.
Boobies.
Sav is a weird case, though.
Wow.
Reborn however many times.
Yes, that is a fair point.
You
I
and
don't
me,
really
Sinbad,
get
we're the
myself.
normal ones. Sarah, like,
Exactly. High five.
punches your shoulder a little bit. I
I
love
punch
being
back a little
What do
harder.
you mean by normal?
Farrah glances over
Awkward.
at Blindbeak. Well, I mean, you're normal.
That's a high plater
like-
thing of you to say.
You're normal too.
Whoa.
Hold the high plater card. I see.
Isn't Trace from the high plates as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, what we want?
Seems a little prejudiced
Are we
at you,
just
Blindbeak.
gonna? Are we just gonna move past the fact that you all looked like you, I don't know, saw a ghost? What happened?
Well, it seems like we heard one too. What was that
After-
about?
After I got my ass kicked, I saw Queen Nero. She didn't seem to like Terofane anymore. Well, something bad is happening. We know this, but it's worse than we think.
How much worse?
Queen Nero, believe me, Queen Nero talked about how if I were to die, she would put me in a vault full of souls, and that we would survive this calamity that would happen. It sounds like it'll be a calamity, and it's not good, but that's all she said before I came back.
Well,
That's
this is foreboding.
Another
Very.
calamity?
It seems that way.
well. We already know of 2 potential calamities. There's this thing, everything going on with the dragon army, and then I don't remember if I told you, but I had a vision of a different one. The world consumed in the endless deep.
Well,
Something else.
where's everybody getting these visions from?
Why can't I have some?
Yeah.
Well, you
Didn't
know,
Trace have one about a ship or something?
sometimes when you're, eternally bound to an eldritch storm, it sends you little visions just to mess with you.
I see.
She's a
Well,
little-
Treat.
it's the storm and I have a weird relationship. She like twirls her spear.
hopefully the storm gives a better vision next time. Why does it always have to be about death and calamity and such?
I shrug. I don't know.
Oh wow! So you had a vision about endless deep, like
This was back in Milltown right before we left. I don't know if you remember. I sprinted outside and got struck by a bolt of lightning.
Oh, that
yes,
was so
I remember
cool.
this.
Yes, that was when I received a vision. Something.
But-
Yes, an endless deep consuming the world, and then some potential solution, both one up in the high plates and one at the core. I chose the core. I get the feeling
Mr. DM, I have a question.
Yeah, hopefully I can answer with good enough rolls.
Would there
and
be
knowledge.
any organization or any set of peoples that either look out for calamities, try to avert calamities, or like keep records on calamities?
Yeah,
Some sort of organization that tries to avert the
I will
ultimate
allow
disaster.
a history check or a nature check, unless you just want to sort of. It's a pretty low DC, and I'll already tell you something even if you fail.
I'll make a nature one. Bomb. 14.
Nature check.
Could I help?
Nature check. Did I say nature?
You said
You
Yeah.
said nature or history. I
Oh,
can make
my
either.
I didn't mean nature, but I understand that I said that accident. I meant
If you want me to make a
history
check,
or religion. My bad.
history. And
It's okay. I will say this, especially since you guys are already going down there, and you guys have maybe, especially Sav, you maybe in your free time, looking around books, such like that, remembering little tidbits from memories that have of your former forms, but basically, you can kind of attribute people looking for calamities to both ends of the Terofane natural hierarchy, which is kind of the high plates and the core world. But specifically, since you guys are going there, you have a memory that flies along, and a few talks I think that have happened in the past, where it has been said that Crux, the place where it is said your recipient of the package is, Avos Alacane, it is said that Crux is one of the only plates in societies that has lived through calamity and calamity, and a large portion of its religion, centered around the Alacanes, is in tribute to them because they have some unnatural way to protect their people from the calamities, or at least that is what is said. And I will say that you, from kind of being up there for a bit, know that the high plates also concern themselves a lot with that, but less in like a weird cult religious way, and more so in a scientific way, sort of like examining climate change in comparison to like our world, and they kind of do similar stuff like that, checking the environments and magical aspects of the world and making sure they're in check so that more calamities don't start.
Okay. Interesting.
Not too many in the middle, the feudal plates, but generally the calamities have shaped everybody's history in some regard. So some hold the calamities to a higher standard than others.
Okay, makes sense.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn you up a little bit because you're a little quiet for me. Also, I fixed you on the thing. Anyhow, so that's what you know about calamities and people looking out for calamities. I will also actually say this. Let me pull up some notes, because it's been 8,900, I'd want to say off the top of my head, years since the last confirmed calamity. Which is why we are in the 8,900th year of the Neo-Archaic Age. It's a handy.
And Monty's been around since then.
He's that old? I forgot about that detail.
Yeah, Monty's super fucking old.
Oh, he's definitely
What a boomer.
like a 20th level wizard or a dragon or some shit.
Yeah, something like that, because we were in his office and he had, well, you guys had his fucking journal that had the angelic stuff. I don't know if he took that or not.
Yeah, there seemed to be some there was a journal that somebody made a check on, and even though it was a blurb of a lot of different elder languages, it did seem to date back to times before multiple calamities, which was strange.
Yeah, but it was Monty's.
Perhaps.
I know
What do you
this.
mean perhaps? That's a known fact.
I know this might be kind of unrelated, but could I make a history check to see if my people knew how long the storm has been around?
Yeah, no, definitely. You can do that.
Just an 8.
8? I'll say this. You know that that like before the last calamity.
Okay, so it's older than the last calamity.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, with an 8, I can't give you more information than that, but the storm in your plate, at least, is almost attributed to it is talking in the same immortal breath and godly status, if not vilified a little bit, as the world phoenix vein,
Volca?
or
Oh.
the sun phoenix Volca. Yeah. Your people on your plate at least believe it is a very elder being of like the beginning of the plane, but
Gotcha.
the validity of that you are not certain.
Cool. That's all I really wanted to know.
Sick. I'll sit here thinking about the implications of another calamity after 8,902 years. And you hear all the cheers and the merry goings on of the people just to your right or left, depending if you're looking up or down. Left map wise.
Well, all this talk about calamities is making me hungry.
You're gonna eat the stew?
Well, Kenton, no. I'm gonna see what else they have.
What else they have?
Are these guys gonna get him away?
Nah, they'll move.
Thank you.
They'll kind of nod and smile their teeth in a way you can't tell if they're baring their fangs or actually smiling.
Oh. Hey, we're all friends of the champ here, right?
One of them will kind of like nod slowly.
What's Hundlefir doing right now?
What is Hundafir up to? Is Quinn there?
Oh, Quinn is here.
Well, so these guys are cooking up a mean stew.
Yeah.
It seems that their ritual is almost about done. They've taken out a lot of the bones and seem to be mainly trying to work towards preserving some of the other parts of the blood and meat and bones of this cannibal brute you've beaten. As Sinbad comes and walks up behind you.
Hello.
Hello there. Is Hundlefir actually eating the stew?
Not yet.
Not yet, because it's not done.
Oh, I see. Because it's not done.
But it,
Are you going to partake?
I think I kind of have to. I'm not really sure I feel great about it. If like this is whispered, I guess. But
Yeah.
you know, my own rage brew that I give to my crewmates and fellow raiders does have a little bit of blood in it. Generally, it's my own blood for my divine connection, but you know, it's not too foreign to me. But I've never actually eaten a sentient being or one sentient being before. But I feel like I can't turn down at least a bite.
Indeed. I suppose I agree with you. It's somewhat similar to how it works in my plates. Our diet usually consists of the beasts that roam the tall grass at our place.
with
Still, I suppose this is the dinner of a champion here in this part of the core world.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
As you all say that, you see this one that seems to be stirring the pot. Seems to give it a good sniff and rings the bottom of the pot with one of a bone, a large femur, and nods and ladles out and gets a skull bowl where the top of the cranium is removed and fills it up with this very chunky soup of a swirling red and orange color.
Would this be foreign to me as well?
Yeah.
Since I'm from Crux.
So here's the thing is that although they kind of proffer themselves as having core world culture, this is actually a feudal plate. It's actually pretty far away from the core world still. So it's like a strange offshoot of core world sort of stuff. And as far as you can tell, Blind Beak, it is very different than Crux. Crux, although culty and has some rituals around like the blood of Alacanes, which is only really rumored amongst the most devout, it is pretty civil. Like, they don't go around eating people. But
Appreciate that.
either way, this cannibal seems to walk up to Hundlefier and say, well, this is your chance. Drink up the soul of your enemy and become stronger and gain the swamp's blessing.
I will swallow a little bit, like, and then be like, all right, I will take the skull.
As you
bowl.
take the skull, you hear ominous thunder above you in a sort of it's a foreboding thunder strike.
Your god will remember this. It's a telltale thing.
I'll sort of look up and around, and I will sort of, I don't know. Let's see. Do I have a specific features and traits?
Will he drink the juice?
I will. I don't know. Assuming Coral Dig and maybe some of the others are probably listening, I will just think to myself in the hopes that they hear. I'll say, or look, I'm not too excited about it either, but I feel as though I've not done a good job so far as being the champion you chose me to be, and spreading, at the very least, even knowledge of you to other plates and peoples. And I feel as though I have to do this to finalize ingratiating myself, but I was going to regale them with tales of my time working under you, and was like to rediscover you all after I took a swig. I promise it doesn't mean anything. I am not abandoning you. And then I will kind of just sit and wait to see if there's a thunder or lightning again.
With that sort of explanation, I think you won't sense too much from the sky, actually. You'll get a less of a literal sign and more of like a strange sense that they almost sort of turn the other cheek a little bit. But then you also feel, as your feet are firmly planted on the ground, a very slight and very probably only perceptible to you, you imagine, a faint tremor in the ground. And that is all as you get as a response, unless you would like to try to channel divine divine sort of messages more, but that is what you that's what you get.
No, I don't want to delay too long. I'll take it, and I will just take like a relatively small sip, and maybe even force it. But I will take a drink of what was offered to me. Be rude not to.
Yeah. Make a wisdom saving throw.
I think I'm good at those. Wait. I should have a +6.
+6. Is your wisdom higher than that?
No, but it is my. It's my save. Like wisdom and charisma are my 2.
Yeah, but you have a +0, right? With your with a 11 wisdom.
Oh yes, but it comes from my aura of protection.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, here I'll edit that on your token, but we will go ahead with the 14. You are just barely able to sort of muster these sort of mental ability required to down a slop made of another creature formerly living, very, very sentient creature's form, and you feel this strange feeling go across you. Your scales seem to shiver, and then there's a strange, almost warmness that seems to settle within you. And as your tongue actually gets to some of the gruel that passed by, it tastes kind of good. Like, pretty dang good. Very, like, you didn't see them add any spices, but something about it makes it very savory and very tangy. And the bits of meat that you do taste in there, it is not a smooth soup, are very, very well cooked through. It seems like a surprisingly delicious meal, which almost worries you in and of itself. But you don't seem to have any adverse reaction straight away, but you do feel as though something seems to overcome you, but not in a bad way. You feel a discomfort that you felt in the swamp from it being very humid and hot almost seems to go away. You gain the swamp's blessing. Although, aren't you already immune to being poisoned, or no?
I'm immune to disease.
Alright, well now you're immune to being poisoned and have resistance to poison damage. And you have advantage. This one doesn't matter because you're immune to diseases, but you would have advantage on overcoming diseases, like against the effects and getting diseases.
Nice. I will sort of pound my chest and let out a hearty belch. I was nervous at first, but shockingly enough, that ended up being pretty decent. I'm not sure I can.
They all hoop and holler. Go, woo! Yeah! Congrats! Yeah! Mighty champion of the storm. The lightning warrior. It's the lightning warrior.
What do you know of the storm and the lightning?
Well, we think this storm's probably because of Malforic. Hence all the sleet and stuff. And then lightning is some magical thing sent by the combination of Vane and Volca, just like all weather. Right, brothers? Now, I heard that lightning was a demonic curse put on the land to fight the gods. No, you're all wrong. It is given by the gods to strike down towards the land of the demons. They all seem to have differing opinions.
I will sort of, I will hand the skull back to the one who offered it to me, and I will take a seat on one of the stools, and I will say, now, what if I told you all that there was sort of a herald of the storm, of the lightning, that was long forgotten to time? Have you heard of the god Atlan?
Nah, what? We don't associate too much with gods. We got our shaman, and we got demons that we don't talk about. Those that give us the diseases.
Well, Atlan is the god of giants, and what many people don't know is that he has children. 10 of them, in fact. And they were once deities in their own right. Yes, Isaac, I am a Jehovah's Witness. I have to be.
This was the quest.
Is this all in Draconic, by the way?
No, I will preach in common, I think, because I understand that you can understand it at the very least, and, you know, I want anyone who is interested to be able to listen in.
Go with it.
Yeah, most of them actually seem to understand.
Yeah. Now, each of Atlan's children was spawned from a different aspect of his own nature, and as I said, they were once deities in their own right, worshipped quite heavily, in fact, on my home plane and elsewhere. But my plate was the last bastion of worship for them for a long time, as the world became more and more connected and traversing plates became easier. But even there, worship of them was forgotten, and society moved to Volca and Vane, much like everyone else. But recently, it's been a while at this point, I rediscovered them, and they put me on a quest to spread their word and bring back, at the very least, knowledge of them to the plates and to the world, because they fear there are, to put it lightly, bad times ahead for Terofane, and they wish to help its children come out the other side.
They all nod and seem thoughtful, and some of them chime in with different questions and such as like, what's up with all these guys? We don't hear about them very often. Where'd they go? Why aren't they around? You know, I would be following something if it was, you know, coming around trying to strike lightning like you do. If it was doing all that and came down with a booming voice, I would understand. But I don't get all the hubbub if they're not really here.
Well, you see, I can't speak for many of the other gods of this realm, but I do know at the very least that the relationship between gods and mortals is often a reciprocal one, in which, they can, as you have granted me the blessing of the swamp, they can grant mortals blessings and power and guide them through tough times. But they demand worship and sacrifice, and without that, they begin to fade, for lack of a better word. Their influence over the material plane begins to dwindle heavily. And so that is what happened to the Daegir, the Pantheon is called, the sons and daughters of Atlan. Being forgotten to the world and for millennia drains the deity of much of their power.
Huh. They all seem very thoughtful. It's a little going out of their their wheelhouse. They don't seem to think about gods or that sort of large picture very often. But they do seem inquisitive now that you are kind of one of them, and they continue to berate you with questions about the nature of this being, and kind of they do start to very much go around and like make a effort to try to get you to explain how your connection gets you to be such a powerful champion, or specifically do your like magical powers, because that was quite a show you put on during the bout with the lightning and your different other effects. So they are curious, and some of them do know, and they seem very aware that some of it might come from just your dragon ancestry, but they still are curious.
Yeah, and I will, explain my special relationship with Coraldig as his. I am an emissary of the Daegir, but I am specifically the champion and the herald of Coraldig, the first of Atlan's children and a god of thunder and lightning.
They all seem to that only sparks more questions, as they have like questions of like what that means, and like if you have any special regalia that makes it so that you have that position. Seeming to make some strange references to something you're not really certain about.
I will, for regalia, I'll gesture to my lightning streaked plate armor.
They'll all nod and they'll be like, "Oh, it's like the more vitality of the champion. Oh, I get it now. If this Coraldig is like the shaman, and all the other sons of this Atlan guy are like the demons here, then you're like the champion." It all makes sense now.
You've got the spirit, I guess.
And during these talks, Lord Crag does sort of show up with a gaggle of different individuals, and will join in for some of the soup. They seem to readily give it to him. He seems to have a place of respect within the group, of course. And he will officially sort of go to you and congratulate you on your well-fought fight. He will clap you on the back and say, "That was well done. Can't say I've seen a fight like that really in some time. I thought I got a good picture when you guys fought the sick Froghemoth, but that was something special. You definitely deserve to be part of this clan, and under the shaman's great blessings."
I will say, many thanks, my friend. and I know there's some more stipulation that comes with it, but truly congratulations on becoming your people's new champion.
Crag nods and says, well, it's been going a little bit more smoothly now that that fight happened. A lot of the people here, they didn't really trust my words about you and your group and thought that, well, bringing you all along was sort of heretical in a sense. But after seeing you in action and you becoming part of the tribe, I've been able to win over a bit more of them to join our cause and at least try to help hunt down Malforic when the time comes. And we'll sort of gesture behind towards the group behind him. Now, don't let me stop your stories of your strange god. I'm curious, as the others are, about these beings that give you such power.
Sure, and I'll get more into... I'm not, so other people have time, but I'll tell stories of, like, raids I've been on and how the various day gear have aided in our endeavors, calming storms, making storms worse for enemies, Coral Dig imbuing me with lightning for fights, all that sort of stuff, and just sit around the fire and tell tales.
Indeed, and great tales they are. All right, everybody else. Would anybody else like to do something? I saw some people walking around. We had Sinbad seeming to go over to a corner. We have Sav over here, over in this area next to some of these cages and this fire. Anybody got anything specific in mind? Yeah, Sav?
My plan was to look for that one little sneaky little guy who was complaining about the bones because I brought him some fish. I brought him 2 baskets of fish, so he better be happy about it.
Oh, and he's a fucking traitor. He's like, he verbally was like, I'm gonna go to the other tribe.
Yeah, he can
kill those people.
He can eat some fish about it.
I mean, I'll just say for ease of access, he could be this guy. And they seem to be talking in Draconic, and you understand that they're like talking about, no way that actually happened. There must have been some sort of trick. You know these wizards, they got their strange things up their sleeve, their illusions. Yeah, but that guy actually died to lightning bolts and glowing sword strikes. You can't just ignore that guy actually died. One of our strongest of the tribe. Yeah. They seem to be talking about the fight as well. And when you arrive, they kind of squint their eyes. They say, I hope you're getting good use out of those. Oh, that leftover meal.
What guy? I'll talk in Draconic, I suppose. And I'll say, you're getting good use out of it after all. I brought you this. And I'll have the 2, the fungal skeletons set down their baskets full of fish.
The main one seems to scratch the scales under his chin. And the others kind of go forward and grab him and look him over. This one sort of... He seems reluctant about it, but he says, well, I'll admit, y'all have a bit more tricks up your sleeve, and even if your magic seems a little... well, let's just say as long as this magic doesn't impede that of the shamans, and, well, this seems like an equal trade, fine by me, I guess. Not exactly equal, but I'll let it slide since you obviously have the blessings of the clan and the blessings of the shaman.
Guanga. I'll say, well, after all, this will bring more benefit in the end. This isn't it.
Well, I guess I might as well watch and see. I don't want you to have to come over here all the time. You can just fish and you can deliver it straight to my mouth. Boys, we're gonna go with that group and we're gonna go find that Malfork. We're gonna watch and see what these bones are really up to. Is that okay with you, little plant?
Well, that's fine. But it still looks like, and I'll kind of like look at how like there seems to be still sort of this big divide. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
There's still kind of a lot of people who are like iffy, Andy and Buddy.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
As much as that would help, I think there's still a lot more to be done here. I'll look around. Do you know, other than just being scared and wanting to go join Malfork's retinue or scatter off into the swamps, if they had any other plans?
Who are you talking about? You talking about other people here?
This whole other retinue of people who weren't too keen on going and fighting Malfork.
Make a persuasion check. He's a bit sussy of you, but might be willing to relinquish.
Oh my god, 8. It's rolling so bad.
I'll let you know this. This swamp has always... In our tribe, this swamp in our tribe, and the other tribes, we all follow one rule. The rule of strength. We follow those who are the strongest. The shaman is the strongest in a different type of way than usual. Got them smarts and got them connections that make it so that we don't get sick. If the way this place works is through diseases, then the one that holds the cure to those diseases is the strongest. But, well, if there's one to perhaps kill that one that knows the cure, well, then that one would be the strongest. So, I suppose it's all just a question. Who do we really think is gonna last? Who's the one that we think will be able to protect us the best from diseases and from other beasts alike? I haven't really made my decision quite yet, I guess. I believe in the shaman and the stews that she grants us, but, well, some are not so in the middle.
Who would be the next strongest then, other than Lorcrag, who follows the shaman?
Well, if the Beastmaster left... Well, the Beastmaster, actually, it wasn't really that strong anyhow. It's a new Beastmaster after the last one went with the weirdo dragons and whatnot that went with some bird fellas. But then I guess it'd be Cloak. Cloak is a very strong part of our tribe, deals with diseases the most and killing people before they even see it or even realize that it was her. That would be the strongest of our tribe, other than Lord Crag. In fact, I'd go as far to say Cloak is stronger than Lord Crag. It's just you don't see Cloak too often unless Cloak wants to be seen. That's what happens when you look around the map. Crazy characters and wacky quarters.
What was the name?
Cloak.
Cloak.
So
Where's
yeah,
the
you surmise that a lot of the like upper positions of this place are given very kind of simplistic names. You got shaman, the shaman, you got the beastmaster, you got the champion, and now you have the cloak or cloak.
Also, Lord Craig.
Is that perhaps
And
the
Lord Crow.
weirdo I met outside the mayor's house?
You are uncertain because you have not seen Cloak yourself in person.
What's Sinbad doing at the death tree?
Thinking about life. No, I'm just
Gonna
kidding.
go find
Oh.
Cloak.
I was looking for Cloak, actually.
Hey,
I zoomed out in my head map and I saw it. An interesting fellow.
I got out my
I was like, I'd like to
binoculars.
meet this person. Yeah.
Sav, are you done?
Otherwise,
That's
I'm just.
iconic
Otherwise,
phenomenon.
yeah, I'm just gonna head back with these guys back
Okay.
to the main group.
All right. Then we will go over this in bed.
Okay. So Sinbad was at the pot for a while listening to Hundolfir talk about his god. When he got to thinking about something and wandered off. He just wanted to go somewhere in the camp where there's not a lot of eyes, basically. And I was thinking about this too, how Sinbad would do this. I'd say that he's kind of like training right now, like gut style slashing at the air with his sword and stuff like now. But he's not doing this for training. I'd say it's also like a form of worship to his god, Morgamesh, the god of war. And through these actions, he's trying to see if he can speak to Morgamesh right now, maybe summon him.
Difficult thing communing with gods, but I will allow a good old religion check or a charisma check of. Yeah. So I'll either allow a base charisma check or a religion check. There are some abilities that allow you to like speak with gods and such, like spells and whatnot, but you could definitely do so without those spells if you wish. You can try. It just is a bit more difficult.
You said I can make a religion check?
Yeah. That's a good roll.
I think my religion is actually higher than that too. On D&D Beyond, it says I have a plus. Oh my god, I can't talk. +5 in religion.
Why is everybody? You guys still have +3 proficiency, right?
Yes.
Do you have a higher int than is written
My
here?
intelligence is +2.
What is your intelligence? Is it 16?
+2. It's 14.
So that'd be a dirty 20 then.
Why? Wait, that is weird. No, okay,
Anyway,
no.
Does that roll still give me anything though?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just. My buttons aren't working.
I see. Shememade.
Me.
Oh, I didn't get it until
Yeah,
you said it
it's-
out loud.
It's a sleeping. Yeah, it's sleeping.
I was like, what is meme?
That's not why Sinbad left.
That's just
He
a
wasn't
nut-
like,
that's
your god is boring. Mine's cooler.
Oh. No. Oh, why is it? Oh, I see the problem here. The int button is broken. It's going off charisma. What the fuck? All right, enough sleeping in the chat. You swing your blade. Pride Rock, I imagine, because that's super heavy, and that is very much so a sword you can do the guts weight training with.
Exactly.
You swing the whole granite form of sheathed Pride Rock slowly with each thrust you sort of feel this strain on your body, but it's the good strain. It's the strain of your body exercising, of your form getting better, and you feel this adrenaline go along with it. Something that has been trained into you in your plate, as it is something that a lot of your people strive for and try to hone. The adrenaline of battle, the adrenaline of wielding a blade to its best efficiency, and your body finely tuned to it. And as you thrust each time, you look up towards the sleet-filled sky. These clouds are all obscuring the sky, which is probably getting fairly dark about now. I forget what time I said it was last session, but I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably getting towards nighttime because you guys have been here a long time. And strangely enough, as you're doing this and sort of present of your surroundings, the adrenaline giving you more perception around you, you look up, and as you do one of your thrusts with your blade, you swear you can see the clouds move to your thrust, almost as though they are starting to part. And surely enough, as you strike forward once again, it seems almost to be some sort of natural coincidence, some sort of phenomenon, as the clouds split in a line, and through the sleet you can see a star above in a crimson night sky, a glowing green star, the star that you know is called Aralor. And
I'm adding
you
juice box.
feel a presence.
Guys, I can see
Hello,
Juicebox
Juice
from here.
Box.
You feel a presence start to overcome you, although somebody is standing across from you as you wield your blade, almost as though you feel as though you are sparring with your brother once again, but there's nobody there. But you feel it. You feel this presence, and you seem to feel them waiting almost for a word, a sign, something to respond to.
I say, Tristan.
You feel a presence in your mind, and you swear you hear something. At first it's just your inner monologue, your own voice, but then it seems to take on something of its own, something you actually have heard in the past, but only on very few occasions, one of which being a traumatic event, a close escape. And you hear this voice almost more as a memory than actually there with you. And you hear, hold on, let me make sure everything's set up right. I gotta make sure everything's all right with the, okay. And this is okay.
Is it Tristan you were asking for?
I just thought I felt his presence for a moment among yours.
Stay on task.
And you feel this this presence in front of you almost seem to like get closer. You almost feel a pressure on your blade, like there is somebody there with a sparring tool of some sort. But still, you don't see anything with your eyes.
I'd say, I wish to talk to you, but as we talk, would you like to spar with me?
There is only one way to clear the mind. Up your guard.
And you
All right, I raise my sword.
you feel a whooshing of air. Again, there's nothing there, but you almost feel as though you can see it. You can imagine in your mind's eye something there, an illusion. You know it's an illusion, and you know you have to think of it there so that you can correctly spar with this being. But you imagine a suit of armor wielding a golden blunted, I will say, sword. As Morgurmesh, God of War, would not seek to harm a devout follower and one of his army.
How very nice of him.
It has
It's
been.
the God of War.
It has been some time, my follower. I am sure you have questions. You are wielding something that, well, was destined for another champion.
Indeed. I apologize for being distant of late, but fret not, I am not ignoring the mission you've given me.
I understand the necessity, or the thought behind it. You are trying to hide from the enemy's eyes. It is wise. I have seen, I have felt, something is after you, still.
How close is his presence?
My vision is limited, but close. Soon, there is a thin barrier protecting you from this force.
It shall not overwhelm my companions and I, will it?
We shall see. I trust in your strength, as you must trust in mine and my guidance.
And no.
Sorry, I was just gonna describe that there some more swishing of air. You competently block a few more times from this this illusionary, this mirage suit of golden armor with gleaming green eyes that seem to shine out of the helm, looking at you very intently, watching your every move. Every counterattack you try to make is blocked with extreme ease. Even sparring this, you know that Morgurmesh is simply testing you to what he knows is your limits. He is not using like any bit of his strength. He is simply using this as a way to stay in tune with your mind.
Yeah.
Roll a
Sinbad's-
d20. If you get a nat 20, you hit.
I don't want to hit him. I don't think I do. He'll fucking kill me if I hit him.
Be proud of you.
Maybe, I don't know. I'd say that this is to be expected, definitely. Sinbad expects this, but he keeps on giving it his all in this sparring session anyway. Seeing what he can do.
Morgurmesh has
and then, yeah.
the stoic nature of a general and doesn't seem to show any hint of emotion, but even still you can sense a pride.
I was thinking more on the events of today as well, after witnessing the battles that my crew has been on, and Morgurmesh, I thought to ask of you, how should a warrior be honored after they die? What is the way there?
A good warrior is buried with their weapons and their armor. If they do not find themselves buried by nature itself, growing around them on the battlefield, then those, their companions, their fellow soldiers, should bury them where they have fallen. What these people do here, I have seen before. I do not condone this sort of barbarity. A person's body is their means of protecting themselves. It holds their very being. So, it is very wrong to do unnatural things to that body, feed on it. You should try to leave them be where they have been strucken down. A life ends when they are slain, but respect, that should last forever for a soldier. It is what they deserve.
I see.
It's true. It's true.
Okay.
You did.
Very well. Words of wisdom. I see. There's no other way then for a warrior to meet their end.
Warriors, generals, those that lead others into battle, they may not die in battle. This is acceptable if they are not actively cowardly, if they are purposely leaving their battles. It is a sign of a true warrior that one is able to live long enough to have nature take them instead of a blade, but either is honorable. The only non-honorable way to die is running. But you are running, but not in a cowardly way. Sometimes there is retreat, but there is always counterattack.
And for the first time, you actually feel, a bit of Morgarmesh's actual speed, actual strength go through as a thrum hits your stone sword, and you feel it reverberate through your body.
I shall never receive cowardly scars again.
We shall see. I hope so. But every scar is a sign of battles won, of surviving. So, I trust you will get worthy scars from worthy battles. But I warn you, the direction you are going, it leads to my other champion, but it leaves your home. It leaves them vulnerable. They have already lost a great battle. They will need a great leader to lead them into the next battlefield.
Of course, but I can't help but wonder, Morgamesh, what do you have my brother doing? What is it that why has he assassinated or attempted to assassinate Avos Helicane and apparently started this conflict? What is happening with him?
He is doing the necessary battles to win a much greater war for your plane. There are great battles being warred. A battle that is not one fought with blades, but instead with fate. You must try to help your brother, perhaps. Otherwise, ensure that this fate is put off, and that those that survive the oncoming war can live to fight another day.
very well. I'd say I tried to make like a real big attack against him at this moment, trying to see if I could catch him off guard,
Make
even
a
though I know it's pretty foolproof
D20
or
roll.
foolhardy.
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Oh!
Not too
You
good.
suck.
No, unfortunately not.
We're rolling bad this session.
We really are.
As you
yeah.
swing with your great blade, you see this mirage actually drop its own blade, reach forward and grab your sword. And these green eyes look towards you once again, shining like stars within a golden helmet. And then you see they seem to turn to a royal red, a royal crimson shine of a star. And he says,
Good work, champion, soldier. Watch for enemies on the battlefield. They are coming.
I shall.
and with that, the blade is let go, and this form seems to disappear along with some of this adrenaline energy you were gaining, and your sword sinks down to the ground where the armor once was, or at least what you saw the armor being.
I see. From there, I think I'm just gonna reflect on that conversation. I'd like to pick up the sword, Pride Rock, and kind of stab it into the ground a little bit. Then from there, I'll just sit down while using like the sword as a backrest as I gaze up at the stars, looking at the Aralore star and everything, for example.
You hear some chittering from like over here. Somebody seemed to have kind of watched you a little bit. They seem a little. They seem a little spooked.
Did it seem like I was like just talking and fighting nothing, or did they actually see like a mirage too?
Make an insight check.
Now Sinbad's a little embarrassed.
You were talking to yourself.
I was talking to myself. Oh, there's a roll.
You through hearing so much draconics recently, you think you're able to sort of parse out some meaning, some words that you've only kind of overheard from Hundalfir helping Sav with the language. But you hear like crazy guy fight ghost.
Oh, you saw it.
You saw it. I'll let up a little half smile to myself and just continue gazing at the stars.
All right. Back to this group. Treyas, Blindbeak. You guys seem to be... Oh, and Feyre. But you've walked a little bit this way.
We're all kissing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I should have been there.
Man, that's gonna be a really like awkward kiss with a beak.
I kissed Blindbeak right on the beak.
Yeah,
right on the tip.
a beak, a person made out of ink, and a water person, which is actually is normal.
Feyre is self-lubricating.
Whoa.
You're not reciprocating?
No, self-lubricating.
Oh, I don't like that.
She's made of water.
Oh, you're like Vaporeon.
Shut up.
Oh, okay, they're not.
Can we remove him from the campaign?
Sheesh. All right, so there's still this guy, I guess.
He's still chilling.
Is
Did
this
he
guy
hear the
spooked?
voice of death?
He's,
Did he hear the voice of death?
he's slobbering right now towards Blindbeak.
Is anyone around?
Other than that guy, not really. Most of them went over here to listen to Hundalfir
I
tell
want to punch
God
this guy in the
stories.
face.
Are you actually
Are
going
you
to?
actually?
Oh God.
I'm tempted to. I don't want to be
You're
slobbered
still
out.
hurt, dude.
Nah, I won't.
This guy's just a weirdo. He's looking at you
I'll
creepily.
flip him the bird though.
Flips himself.
My little ink minion is also gonna flip him off.
Oh,
Mimicking you, of course. You're teaching him bad things.
I'm so
The little
sorry,
ink
woman.
minion looks
Father,
over at
son.
you and says, "Fuck."
No, wait, I didn't say that.
Where'd you
I
hear
didn't say
that?
I didn't teach him.
This cannibal seems to individually blink each eye at you all.
I hate that shit.
I don't think he's. I think you're misunderstanding. I don't think he's doing so hot.
He's like a sick dog.
this-
He's panting.
Can I medically? I'm checking this guy then. Maybe it was a. Maybe he does need medicine.
You're checking him out.
Gotta flip him off.
Okay.
And then here's
You
Jonathan.
actually surmise that probably everybody here is a little bit, a little sickly, a little kind of dirty, sick boys. They're generally pretty gross.
Why is he slobbering though?
Because he wants to eat you. But he also seems you prescribe him with a bit of the probably not getting a well balanced diet and having some sort of unfortunate mental trauma or disease from his unfortunate upbringing in a cannibal camp.
Can't heal that.
That's why we got therapy.
Yeah, I'm making no therapist.
You
Just
think
gonna
of
use his
you
feeling.
think of several types of basically anxiety medications that he might be able to take from Crux that you know of.
Yeah, but I'm
You
not
got
gonna help him now.
Prozac on Crux.
I'm gonna use the
I place
feeling of
in
death that I had
the
to try
court
and
world,
intimidate him to get away from me. I'm using the feeling of death that I just had and kind of like channeling that to like exude from my key, my own key.
He will you sort of start sending out your aura towards him, and he does seem to finally close his mouth and lick his chops, and he kind of ducks behind here. He doesn't seem to want to look at you anymore. He's averting his eyes. Seems to gnaw on a bit of this tent to try to distract himself.
This guy really does need mental help.
Yeah, for real.
Where'd everyone go? Everyone left.
Yeah, you gotta walk away from this guy.
They all, yeah.
I'll take your minion with me. I'll hold his hand. I'll hold his
Are
hand.
you guys
Okay.
following me?
Travis
I just look behind.
has to have. They're always
direction.
following someone here.
Treyas
It's scary,
Treyas needs a
scary.
parent.
Yeah.
Where's my mom? Where's my
Aw.
dad?
Are you going to this? I'll go to this lady for the night. Can I stay at her place?
Whoa.
No.
Who?
Whoa.
Who's? Are you talking about Cloak?
Hey girl, can I stay at your place?
No.
Talking about the shaman.
Oh yeah, you could sure go up to the house as you have before. See,
Is that where we're going? Is that where the group going?
Pharaoh was gonna find a tall tree.
classic
Well, you
Pharaoh.
can't step out of this place. Let's go on Tall Rock. Tall Rock better.
There's tall trees here too, though.
Are there any nice
Maybe
tall
this tree is
trees?
good, but it's
Well,
there's the sickly-
there is the weird sacrificial totem tree, but then also just on the south side of camp, you see a good bit of a little shrubbery, little got a bunch of small, sickly looking trees.
What's the-
Yeah, but this shit gets you sick.
I'd say that one of the tallest one. Well, the tallest one by far is Totem Sacrifice Tree, where Sinbad's next to. But then, I'd say the next tallest are probably at the very south of camp, all the way south at this entrance.
Is this rock about the same height?
Which rock? This one?
One by us.
Owned by us.
Yeah. I'll say the rock is very
Pharaoh's
tall.
just looking for a high point. I toss my spear up here and sit.
It was for real just a cat. Let's be honest here.
I'm very
cat
unset.
being.
Like Farah, Farah hasn't like really thought about the vision that she received at all. She's very like unsettled. She's been trying not to think about it. Reads the inscription on her spear. Kinda
Reyes
tries
does
to-
uppy hands.
Farah picks them up. Sets Trace
I'll
on the
push Trace up too. It'll be a group effort. I'll get the minion guy on my back, so he has to climb up with me.
Piggyback.
Yeah, he'll piggyback. Trying to like unteach him how to flip people off. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Flips you off.
It flips you off.
You say Farah look at her spear, read the inscription, and then flick it back into her hand. Do you ever wish that just go anywhere, do anything? There was nothing tying you down.
Tying you down.
Flicks the spear back out. This bad boy tosses it. The storm tied to it. Summons it back. You know, I've been trying not to think about that vision for a long time. All I wanted was to leave my plate. And instead I end up more tied to it than I was before. Sorry. Getting too sentimental.
No, it's okay. Like, I don't know. Home comes to bite you in the ass every now and then. Don't repeat what I say. What did this? I start saying ass now. Anyways.
There's just this feeling that something terrible is going to happen, worse than we already. I can't shake it. If I just stayed on Ethereal, maybe it wouldn't be like this.
If you stayed on your plate, then it would have happened regardless. You're trying to do something and stop whatever's happening. You're doing more than anyone could ask for. And I get how that could weigh down on you, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, I guess. Thanks. I appreciate it. Pharaoh looks up towards the stars. The clouds covering them.
Could I try bone casting? Could I have found like little bones and try and bone cast since I'm really in tune with death?
Fortunate part of the Campbell camp is there's a lot of bones everywhere, so it
That's
is
what I'm saying,
definitely
that's what I'm
not
saying.
hard to pick up a bone and attempt to do so.
What kind of check would that be?
Could I do prophecy? But I feel like I should have advantage on this shit. I'm super in tone with death right now.
You are kind of feeling deathly. You are feeling unassociated with yourself. So I will say, yes, you can do a... Well, first and foremost, yeah, make a wisdom check. A insight
wisdom.
check. Or just a holy shit. That's a good roll.
Damn.
Insight would have added what? What's my modifier for insight? Like 8.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you got the exact same roll. Still not a 20 though. I'm disappointed, Isaac. Where's the 20? I'm just kidding.
But I'm trying.
True.
You take a bone that you've picked up off of the side, still intact, not too fractured or anything, and start to sort of reach your energies towards it, try to pour out your energies into it, or receive some sort of energies back. You've never done this, and you haven't actually received any training other than being told it's a thing that you might be good at. But there is something about the way you're feeling right now, that feeling of dread, like you dropped a flight of stairs already, and then with an additional feeling of that you're not yourself, that something isn't right. It's a very sickly feeling. It feels sort of awful. And as you're focusing on these things and almost projecting them, you feel a strange leading sensation, an instinct that almost overcomes you as you're feeling and sending out energies. You have almost like an itch, a need to stab one of your talon-like nails into the bone. And as you do, unless you would like not to,
I'll go for it.
as you do, you feel a strange connection. You start to feel as though your finger isn't the end of your arm. You feel your instincts, your sense of your own body start to extend out, but not in all directions, in a very targeted direction. And you feel almost like these strange memories start to come back. Not your memories, though, something else's memories. You feel something start to interact with you as you feel a sort of the wet, malleable feeling of this marrow within the bone. And you brush upon some sort of, not a consciousness, as I've said, but a working pile of instincts, and it's the leftover memories that have made the instincts that seem to inhabit this bone. And you feel this start to become memory in a way, and it starts to almost wait for you. It seems to await some sort of action, some sort of thing to act upon as the instincts work.
Thing to act upon. What do you mean by that? Can you?
It's sort of, so you've like accessed a pile of memories or instinctual memories.
Is it from the person's bones, or is it from...
It's like a wide variety of memories. It's like it's a lot of instincts. You have to almost like question it to get more knowledge from it. Like, what are you looking for? Is kind of what it, instincts don't work on their own. You have to have some sort of trigger, some sort of
guidance.
Yeah. Some sort of want.
I look over at Blindbeak a little confused.
As you look at Blindbeak doesn't notice this because Blindbeak doesn't see color and is having the keys all messed up, but you notice that the normally white pearls that are in place of his eyes are now black and seem to be swirling with a strange greenish black energy within the pearls, like a very dark green.
Blindbeak?
Scary.
I put my arm on. I put my hand on his arm.
You feel the Blindbeak's body is very cold.
I stand up abruptly.
I feel like Blindbeak would look for, I don't know, what's the most prominent? He's trying to figure out the swamp, and that's why he's like he's been questioning her. So I guess he'd look more in depth into like she's been communicating with the demon. And so maybe I'd try and talk to her ancestor. I forget his name, but she talked about him, and I was like, he's in a deep slumber. Let's see what he has to say.
Make a... Well, no, this would be part of your already insight. As you're sort of looking, you give it this response, and you feel almost as though there's an extra body on the other side of this bone, and this body belongs to another you from another time. You feel the pumping of veins and muscles as somebody was running through the swamp, as they stepped into a puddle. You feel the same cold sort of travel through your body, and then you feel something start to inhabit this other body, a sickness through the puddle. Some creatures lying within, minuscule creatures lying within the depths, minuscule demons that seem to wriggle their way into this body through cuts and gashes that you now sense through it. Your hand travels over the bone and feel scrapes and scratches from after it died to whatever disease, a disease that overtook its body, and after it was eaten by some sort of crocodile, and you felt it starting to disintegrate into the dirt. You feel this sense of depersonalization again, although you are losing your own self and are becoming like this body did with the ground around it. And as you do, your sense of your surroundings in the swamp seem to heighten as this other being has died and become part of the swamp as well. And you sense some key parts of it. There are these river-like tendrils that are invisible, that are throughout the entirety of Brockmire, as you already know.
I've already sensed that bastard.
And it seems to wrap its way around anything that gets diseased. Its main central form travels and grows in random parts across the tendrils to wherever it is. It seems to gain centers of disease in places where it can get the most sustenance. But another place where you feel a center of disease, a center of the swamp, a focus of the energy, is in the middle of the drown horde. And you actually feel that it's not so much the sleeping circle, which you've heard of before. It's what lies below a sleeping form, something that has become one with the swamp as well, as it has slept for thousands of years. There seems to be a great vault of some kind of, or some sort of place where diseases are being kept locked away beneath this form. And
it's not in the sleeping circle?
No, it's in the center of the sleeping circle. I'm saying below the sleeping circle, below whatever is sleeping, causing this area, there is another place that is the strongest center of disease, other than the traveling body of Gracia, which you have sensed through this. So there are two great centers of the swamp that give it the diseases and are centers of the diseases and that power. There is Gracia herself, and then there is something that lies beneath the sleeping circle, and which beneath even the sleeping form of the dragon that you've heard about. It seems to be like a vault or some sort of cage where a place where these diseases are hidden, but is still spreading its insidious force throughout the plate. Although it seems a bit contained. I will say, there is another source, not as powerful, but one that Grazia visits a lot, and that seems to be way up north in where the waterfall from Haven would be. It seems that there is a place that Grazia visits a lot and seems to deposit diseased energies up north in a waterfall.
Okay. Miles.
Make a charisma saving throw again, though.
No.
You feel as though you are one with disease and death. It is not a good thing. You gain one more latent disease, and you take...
But I wasn't even looking at fucking Grazia. I was looking at the
10
the
necrotic
dragon
damage.
10 necrotic damage?
Yup.
I gotta
Owie.
stop poking your head and shit.
Kara like shakes your shoulders. What the fuck is happening?
What is wrong with this plate? We need to get off this.
Yes, this one is not ideal. Why can't we go to like
here anymore?
I want to go to Sov's cool mushroom plate.
Is there like a beach plane?
I want to go home.
Let's go to a beach plate.
That's Alestrin, actually. Alestrin's got beaches and cool tropical, like, oasis jungle places.
Yeah, let's go there. Yeah.
Opposite direction, guys. Alestrin is the one of the tallest high plates.
Damn.
You after that vision, though, and being shaked by Feyre, you are able to gain your wits again, although you feel even more hollow than before. It feels not good to speak and commune with those that are dead.
I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna hop on Mr. Dante and...
Spybeak just goes to sleep.
Yeah, we're like, what's going on? You just go to...
He's feeling weird. He needs to sleep it off.
All right. So is everybody going to bed? Everybody sitting down for Biddy
guess
Bite
so.
time? Where's everybody?
There's probably one more place Sav wants to visit before
War is tomorrow.
Yeah.
packing down.
Yeah. Where would Sav like to go?
I'm just gonna start heading north. Gonna walk past all the homies on the rock, I suppose.
Where are you off
Just
to,
go
Sav?
to the... Oh wow! There might be some information that the shaman would like to know, especially if the other side of the camp is going to turn on them.
Mind if I tag along?
Wow, of course, no problem.
I'll hop off the rock and head out with my homie Sav.
Mushroom walk, mushroom walk, mushroom walk.
Mushroom walk. Mushroom walk.
Oh my god. Using a trackpad on a laptop is so hard.
I could teleport you guys over.
Yeah, take us.
The doors are closed.
I knock.
You got this.
There is a long pause. You see glowing lights from the upper portion of this hovel.
Knock again.
A few minutes pass before you finally see the lights fade, and you hear walking from inside. And then, surely enough, coming to the door and opening it up, you see Dr. Volenmarks meet eyes with
Hi there.
with you. Oh, hello. It has not been very long since... Well, actually, Time has passed by rather quickly, I suppose. Must have been a few hours. Either way, there's just many more visits than I'm used to. Is there something that you need guidance on? Perhaps more assistance? It seems that I hope none of your friends were eaten. I imagine I would have heard already, and that you would all
No
be in a
one-
worse state than you are.
Oh wow.
No one was eaten. Well, one of your guys was, but they seemed cool with that.
Nothing too damaging in our absence, but it might be relevant to tell you that there is a great divide in the camp at the moment, and looks like some of the camp members are putting their well, siding with a separate or a separatist faction. I guess they are whatever. Um, Putting their spears and fangs behind an individual named Cloak. Do you know this? Do you know this person?
You might be misunderstanding whatever information you have heard. Cloak is one of the most devout of my followers. They are the only ones thus far that have decided to stay within the tribe of my three follower leaders. The champion, although I would have said at one time was the most loyal, seems to be testing me in some regard. This schism is not unknown. Cloak being a part of it would, well, frankly, be a large surprise, and I would need much more concrete evidence to support such a claim. But I will keep that in mind, although I believe that the plan, my idea of what will happen next, will most likely deal with even a betrayal as big as that.
Well, not trying to make accusations, but it might be relevant to sleep lightly tonight, if you do, in fact, sleep.
There are more things than just myself and my form that protects me in this hovel. There are reasons why I have told you all many times to simply wait, although it seems difficult for all of you to understand that sometimes. Although this time you seem to have remembered, and I thank you for that. Dr. Volenbach seems to close their eyes, raise their glasses, and rub their closed eyes. They seem to be... They have been channeling some sort of energy every time you guys have come, so it is easy to assume that they have probably been channeling all throughout the day since you guys have arrived, and it seems to be tiring them out significantly, as well as...
All I'm saying is if I was a rogue and I wanted to do a coup, this would be a perfect time to do a coup. That's all I'm saying.
If Cloak were to decide that I was not needed anymore and to assassinate me in my sleep, well, I imagine there wouldn't be much to stop them other than some of my own protections and also all of you. But I will keep that in mind, and I thank you all for your continued updates and other giving me knowledge and trying to keep me up to date in what is happening to my tribe. Although I would not worry so much. I have things more under control than you might understand.
This Saab will just like raise their arms and shrug. What? You seem to be very, 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 very confident in this, whatever you're channeling there. And it's not very helpful if you don't, well, at least tell your allies about it. So what sort of protections are you taking for yourself?
Make a persuasion check.
I am proficient in persuasion, can I provide the help action?
Yeah, you don't need to be proficient.
I don't.
to do
Yeah, I
the
don't
help
think
They
action.
did.
Foot does that
I
one.
don't do that rule.
Give me it! Give me it right now! What is it?
Well, I suppose you do seem a bit more in tune with these sort of things than some of your allies, and I can only hope that Gracia doesn't take an ill meaning, an ill. I just hope that Gracia doesn't lash out at you all for knowing and being in on such things. Here, come into my hovel once again.
The druids
He
are
sounds
about
fed
it.
up.
I'm about it.
So,
I'm probably gonna leave them outside.
oh, okay.
That's possible.
Please shut the door behind you.
I shut the door.
So, as you might have gathered, a large part of this plate is the diseases that lie within it. Something that Gracia has been cultivating since tens of thousands of years, probably past many calamities. These diseases do not only prove to help Gracia, but if you know how to channel with them and also with the dead that succumb to them, you can learn a lot about this plate and also of things happening in it. I am able to follow the movements and even sometimes the thoughts of those that are here, especially those that partake in some of the blessings I have given them, such as the stew. Thus, I, in this, have been trying to piece together the whereabouts of my champion, the Beastmaster that has left, even some that have left the plate.
Well, what? So your stew acts as a sort of conduit for scrying?
Yes, it can do this. It's I have found ways to make it thus. Yes, the simple answer, yes. It is more complicated than that. There are deals, packs that make it do thus. And although I will continue to say that Gracia is not a good force, I would be lying if a lot of my abilities were not thanks to Gracia and knowledge that I have gained from speaking with the force that is known as Gracia, which is not a easy feat. This is also where a lot of my protections come from. Not only do I have insights into the whereabouts and minds of my followers, but I also have certain assurances from Gracia that as long as I am not acting specifically against their wishes, doing things that they would not want me to do, that they will protect me with their own beasts and creations, be that diseases, parasites, tiny bacteria.
Things that they wouldn't wish you to do, such as curing diseases, such as unfetting the swamp.
Outrightly trying to use purification, such as that. I haven't delved too far into it, as without diseases I would lose much of my own power here, and well, Gracia is very good at battling against such purification, but my own stew seems to work some sort of... It pleases Gracia, even if it puts off some of Gracia's creations in the diseases. So this is the pact that I have made, and this pact goes on to ensure other things. But this is beside the point. Although I have been speaking with Gracia and going over plans, seeing into the trust of my allies, and most importantly, the mind of my champion, which was truly the turning point of our tribe and why there is such a schism, I have devised a plan. And this plan, well,
I'm going to steal the moon.
I am going to steal the moon. No, absolutely not.
Fallen Mox.
What moon? I've never heard of a moon on this on Terofane.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Was
The
Terofane
moon
not out of
Ankin. There's the moon.
Oh, you're right.
The
You're
moon
right, you're right,
Ankin.
you're right.
The dragon moon. But that's not actually relevant whatsoever. Dr. Volamax will say. Damn, I got off track. So the plan currently is that if I am not able to gain power back, gain my champion back, and thus gain the respect and leadership back of this tribe and hopefully many others, or you and Lord Crag are not able to vanquish Malforic, I have plans to, well, give my powers and my legions to Malforic.
So your plan is just to...
I will sacrifice half of my tribe to try to hunt down Malforic, but I will not myself be a part of it. And if, well, that fails, I will go to Malforic, and I, just like many black dragons before, and as I plan on doing to my own ancestor dragon, once they awaken, I plan on making a pact, as I have with Gracia, with Malforic. And I am planning on, through special stews and such as that as well, ensure that Malforic will be untainted, but also be under my control, thus gaining me back into strength once again. I have never gotten strength via my own battle prowess or my spells to strike people down. I have always been able to find ways to use diseases to manipulate the will of those stronger than me. This is just the truth.
Well, this still doesn't really explain your protection, your personal protections, other than scrying, other than trying to look into your fellow's mind.
Gracia would
Send some
stick the
bees?
dogs out on anyone who tried to hurt her.
So the crocodiles? Is that what you're getting at, or?
You still have so much to learn. No, there are more beasts than just the crocodiles. Many
Yeah, there
more
was the big
beasts.
frog. The big frog, remember?
And many more diseases as well. You see, my followers only gain the benefits of the stews from my own rituals I have given them. I can just as easily make pacts with Gracia to make it go away. Thus, as some of your others have discovered, coming into my abode without my say-so, the farther you go in, the more you will be tested by Gracia, and the more time that will be spent to have one of the beasts or a great amalgamation of beasts come forth. You have not seen them, I do not think. You see the crocodiles that are around my own abode, but you have not gone into the swampy sections where we keep the most diseased and the most vicious of our beasts. I have ways, as well as other spells as well. Different trap incantations, pretty basic things.
Well, they weren't explained prior to this very well. So, I suppose you've got your own protections then. The best of luck to you.
Stav here just appreciates peace of mind.
Yes, well, I hope you can get that here, despite all of the different things that might not make it so. You will have to talk after you come back from your expedition to try and fight Malforik. Because I foresee that you might have a skill set useful to some more of my own rituals. But although I have divulged this information, I do not want to give away too many of my pacts and secrets until, well, it is proven that you are all strong enough to perhaps even participate in the rituals without your bodies and minds eviscerating themselves.
Wow. Still don't have a very high opinion of us.
You would be surprised. I have given you a lot of leeway where any other person I would not. But then again, I suppose that also comes from you all being possibly deceased in a while, so I don't feel like my secrets will go too far. But I do have trust in you, I suppose.
That's funny.
Wow, I suppose in some way. Well, a good night to you. What? Wow. Goes out.
And as Fair is walking out the door, she's just gonna turn around and go, "Oh, and one thing real quick. I know you mentioned you've been all over the place, and I believe you mentioned that your scrying extends beyond the plate to some extent. Fine if you don't know anything. Do you know anything of Ethereal, or what's going on there currently?"
No, unfortunately, I am not actually, as much as my packs and my own knowledge gives me strength in being able to help others and such, I am not strong enough to scry normally. The diseases and the stew specifically are what give me ability to scry. So as long as it is not a disease or one that has partaken of the blessing, I am unable to see past that. But if my great ancestor dragon were here, I have found things that would suggest that he would have powers to see all across every plate if he had enough strength. So perhaps if you are all able to help me after this in rituals, then I will be able to commune with that sort of strength and tell you more. This is the only promise I can give you if you are truly successful.
Oh, don't worry, we will be. Farah gives her like a little salute and jaunts out the door.
Dr. Vollenmox actually smiles pretty widely at that for being pretty stoic. They find that highly amusing. You can't tell to be insulted or not.
I'm gonna say that I just left my spear at the rock, so I just teleport back to it.
You leave Sov to walk alone. Not really alone because of the goons, but
I wave at him when he passes the rock.
Goon squad.
Yeah, I think I am ready to go to bed then. Clacky clack.
What's this guy typing? Oh my god.
He's typing like crazy.
I'm typing the mod now. Mod now.
Oh.
I hate that guy.
Why would you
What
say
the
that?
fuck?
Don't say that.
Yeah, that's my
Nalth
bad.
is so nice.
I love that guy.
word.
Now's
love
the
Nalth.
best, man. I fucking love Nalth so much. Oh my god.
Flynn was talking about how he wants to kiss Nalth.
I do sometimes. All right, so
It was actually saying he was coming on now.
Oh yeah, you did.
Remember
you
that?
You were
Yeah.
coming on Nalth.
I do not say this. All right.
My bad.
So is everybody's sleeping? Everybody's taking
I'm
a big
reading.
rest? Oh yeah, you don't have to sleep, so you're reading more about Celestial. We're learning more Celestial rules.
I'm gonna sleep like I'm gonna sleep like with my back against Dante. Blanket
Oh,
on me.
Dante.
Can I give you orange? Do you want orange? Do you want to
I
sleep
would
with
love
orange?
orange.
You can have orange.
I'll tuck orange in the crook of my arm.
Dante initially is pretty seems to find this uncomfortable, but then we'll just kind of be whatever.
Didn't I have like a really successful animal handling check with Dante to become friends at one point?
I think so. That tracks. Either way, Dante is getting used enough to this that it's fine. But you do find that sleeping on Dante, you are very aware of the flaky like exterior, the flaky. It's not exactly skin. It's some sort of growth type thing that
Yeah, but you
almost
said-
like a scab that seems, but very flaky and translucent that seems to be growing over the scales of Dante.
Oh, is he sick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
We can't heal him though.
No longer sleeping on him.
Yeah, I kind of scooch away. I still have orange though.
It's pretty dry. It's not like gooey or
Dante's
anything.
offended.
Yeah, but that's gonna like get in my hair and stuff.
It's true. No.
What if it's transferable?
You'll wake up and you'll think it's like dandruff.
Yeah, I don't want
Ooh,
that.
Gross.
I'll just chill with orange.
It's very similar to like dandruff or dry skin, but on
I
scales.
imagine orange is like very malleable. Like you could just pick him up and like do whatever you want. Like he just doesn't react.
Like any orange cat, really.
Well,
That is literally my orange cat.
Mhm.
Alrighty then.
How many hours do I get?
Hours, you get 8 hours because that's as long as a long rest is.
How many do I need?
I have to check back in my Giga notes. Hold on.
I feel like I should have written that down.
It's all
Okay,
good.
I also, like I mentioned a while back,
240.
I have to leave a little early, so I'm heading out.
No.
Sorry.
No, it's
Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't know why, but in my head, I actually thought I thought for some reason that was. Is this the last weekend for that or no?
Yes, although my manager wrote a bad sketch. I'll talk about this later.
Okay.
'cause it's
Yeah,
error,
my
but
bad.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right. Bye bye.
Bye.
I had.
You said 240?
I had
240.
a 240 hours. Nice. I trust Sov. You've been doing your draconic studies forever.
I've
That just
been
takes so
marking it
long.
down.
I feel like I should be done.
Listen, it's a language. Languages are hard to learn.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've been reading every single night.
I mean, how many do you have? How many hours?
I'm 172.
172?
Yeah.
What you need is
Definitely didn't calculate it in some points.
What-
but
what-
that's
is
on me.
173.
What you need is a
True.
hundo fear that gives you double points.
Yeah.
No celestial.
Double points.
Blindbeak
Just lost
actually,
it.
when he talks to angels, he actually speaks in tongues. He doesn't talk to angels though.
All right, so I did have something planned for this rest for a hundo fear, but unfortunately we will have to plan that out next time. I totally forgot. I thought Quinn had more time, so Sedge. But other than that, I suppose you will all awaken, actually, especially on this rock. You guys have chosen a funny place, as there seems to be another gathering. In this,
That was a long rest, right?
Lord Crag will get up here. Yeah, it's 8 hours.
Ah, no rations.
Gotta
Awkward.
add your rations.
Angel rations.
There's a add ration
I
button.
have a latent disease.
You have
How
two
many-
latent diseases.
What do you
How
mean
many
I have two
rations
latent
should I
diseases?
add?
You got one
this shit.
from
From what?
spying on Valen Mox and almost going into the
Oh,
house,
Right.
and then you gained
right.
one whilst you were diddling some diseased bones.
What? Don't use that word.
Is it because
Diddle. Also, Flint, you spelled unfortunate wrong in the command for losing rations.
Ooh,
Just thought I'd
yeesh.
let you know.
Good thing it's only one macro, so it's really easy. And that's not even like that's not a purposeful one like guard. Guard.
Howard.
That
can I
one's
roll
just
for the disease?
I forgot the T. Yeah, you can. Please roll. Hold on.
Dude, imagine getting diseased. It's so cringe.
Roll 8.
Can
Literally
Treyas
couldn't be
catch
me.
diseases?
Nope.
Nope.
Makes
This
sense.
is
Couldn't be me.
Treyas is actually OP in this in this.
But there's so
plane.
much water, Flint. I'm not OP. There's so much water.
It's true.
It bugs me.
No, you're OP, but you hate it because it's all musty and wet
from
and
that
shit.
I don't mind it being musty and wet.
Yeah, I bet.
Do we level? We've been fighting.
What do you mean by
We've
that?
been trooping.
I don't know. What have we been fighting?
We had like one fight.
I got my ass kicked, and
Yeah.
as Flint says, the greatest experience is getting your ass kicked.
You got your ass kicked.
True.
Mondolfir saved your ass.
Do
and the
I
rest of
say
us kinda
that?
watched.
Yeah.
One says that all the time.
I hear it every day.
I feel like I mean I'm down for
I've
being
definitely heard you say that multiple times.
I'm down for being known as saying that, but I don't remember saying that ever.
I don't even remember what he said.
You
So
said that for Airlore.
I guess
we got
no
our ass
no
kicked by
you're no
the-
I do I believe you. I probably said something like that where it's like the best, especially with Mr. Davidian. That's like the Mr. Davidian mentality is the best way to learn is to get the shit kicked out of you so that you are better and more careful next time.
That's how Magnite was taught.
Gaslighting successful.
Yeah, that's a really good charisma.
all right.
So if these guys are crowding us and fucking Lord Crag is gonna come up on the rock, I'm waking everyone up before
Well, hey,
anyone
yeah,
starts doing anything.
he'll
If
be-
they're coming near us, I get scared.
Lord Crag will kind of like come over to help you guys wake up and say,
Oh, he has coffee in his hand.
I'm up.
we level?
Here. Want
Oh, thank you.
some morning blood, boiled blood.
Yeesh. Some morning brown.
Morning brown.
Morning Brown.
All right. So Lord Crag kind of wakes you guys up and says, the shaman is coming out of the hovel and gathering everyone. I think, well, we might be leaving here very soon. And we'll kind of...
All right. I hand Orange back to Treyas. Kind of drop him in your arms.
Blind Beak,
Jump off the rock.
as you wake up, for you and 8.
8's the bad one. That's one Dante got.
You're gonna get flaky?
No, I think 1 is the bad one. Or at least
they're all bad.
1 is the one that... Or 1 is where I have the thing that Dante has right now on my chart. But either way, I'm just reading it. Okay.
If it can be cured.
You get really itchy under your feathers, and your skin under your feathers starts to get like blotted, and you get these like red patches, and your veins get bloated.
Can I use Physician's Touch to
Which one do you want to cure? The itching or the
Can I cure
the bloated veins? What is the description of Physician's Touch?
Physician's Touch. I'm glad you asked.
I'm glad I asked as well.
Physician's Touch. When you use Hand of Healing on a creature, you can also end one disease or one of the following conditions affecting the creature: blinded,
One
deafened,
disease.
paralyzed, poisoned, or stunned. So I'll use 2 Physician Touch.
Okay, that's fine then. You can cure both. You hear lots of tiny, minuscule screams as you cast it twice.
Can I insight check those screams?
You're no longer itching.
What are those screams, huh?
You killed the little disease gremlins in you.
You killed the demons in your blood, bro.
Were they demons in my blood?
Well, they were on your feathers, and as you look at your skin, it seems that your in clearing your disease, you've killed a lot of tiny little blob-like, many-limbed gray creatures.
Are they?
They're like
demons?
they're little stony colored tardigrade.
Tardigrades.
Oh, tardigrades.
And but they're all dead now. They feel like little
Oh.
pebbles on
Dead
your
tardigrades.
feathers. You have to shake
Woo,
them all out
tardigrades.
and get them all out like that.
That's disgusting.
Tardigrades.
They're not as small as tardigrade though. You can actually see them, but they're still pretty minuscule. Like, the only reason you're able to make out their shape is because you're actually blind and you're able to sense and feel super good. So you sort of twirl them around in your fingers and you feel their little tiny stubby arms and their little tiny whole face. Killed a small civilization. Hope you're happy.
I am.
Yeesh. Yeesh. What if you, like, raised them and made a little army of tardigrades living on you?
That's
That'd be
true.
pretty epic.
That could have been really cool.
Germa and his earwig army.
All right.
Okay.
So
I'm
They were
reabsorbing my
representing
minion,
Gohan.
by the way. I don't need my minion right now.
all right.
Thank you.
I
Does
like
it make that sound?
Sucked back into your form. All right.
And now I have the power of flipping people off.
You gain all of the knowledge of swearing that your little minion learned.
I say ass.
I'm not ready for Treyas.
Treyas.
Without further ado,
No Treyas, no swearing.
you see all these people kind of come forth. Dr. Vollenmox projects their voice outwards, and everybody quiets down as you hear their voice reverberate through this swamp. And you also see that the Shaman Lord seems to have something in their arms. A very large set of bones, all tied together out of sinew, and in a sort of strangely pristine, almost freshly washed sort of shape, but still has some sort of gas. It looks rather ghastly with these heads of skulls of both bird people, some sort of Aarakocra skull on it, a human skull, some smaller skulls, maybe of halflings or maybe, God forbid, even children, and the skulls of maybe dragonborn or lizard folk, all tied together into some sort of collar. And the shaman will step forward and say, Lord Crag, please come forth. Lord Crag will step forward. And she will say, I have ordained you to be the next champion, as I have said yesterday. But to officially gain your place, I will allow you 8 days. 8 days I will wait here and watch. Those 8 days, I allow you to travel with as much of the tribe as you can muster, to go about and challenge Malforic. After those 8 days, I will travel to Malforic myself. If I arrive there and Malforic is not dead and the champion placated in some regard, or the old champion placated, then there will be a new era for our tribe. I give you these 8 days to do with however you wish, to gather more arms,
take these new companions of yours, arming them or other such. But after those 8 days, the rest of the tribe and I will make our way to the hold of the Sleet Nightmare. And if you have failed, then a new age will dawn. And if you have succeeded, then this tribe will truly reign supreme over Brockmire. Come forth, the outsiders. Stand next to Lord Crag.
Toss my spear.
Excuse me, coming through. Sorry.
In the back of the crowd. Oh, that's me. My bad. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Ooh, my bad.
Most of the tribe seems to have accepted you. You have done a proving rite, and I officially, as shaman of the tribe, of the Drown Horde, I all indoctrinate you into our tribe. You may march with us, and you may march with Lord Crag. But despite this, you will not be given free reign of our blessings until you too succeed, as Lord Crag must. Lord Crag, I give to you the mantle of the champion, the Maw Collar. Wear this when you fight the other champion. If you fail, the champion will regain the Maw. And if you beat the champion by some miracle, then you may retain it. And with that, Dr. Vollenmock seems to give Lord Crag this set of bones and skulls. And, well, actually, Lord Crag will go down on one knee as Dr. Vollenmock puts it over their head and onto their neck. You actually see a difference in Lord Crag as the collar is put on and Dr. Vollenmock moves back. He stands and opens closed eyes, and you see that the skulls upon him and his own eyes are now glowing red. If you look at his art, it's
Can
updated.
I see what the Maw does? What the fuck does the Maw do?
That requires a combat analysis check.
Lord Craig, hi.
A very high. He's high off this.
He's fucking baked.
I was gonna say Lord Craig's scary, and then I changed the last second.
I like
He's
Lord
not.
Crag high.
He's just
Bro,
really like.
bro,
he's
he
really
needs some
cool now.
chips and a couch. Come on.
Why do we have to fight?
Get this homie a frozen pizza stat.
20.
You see in his very eyes. I will not tell you the exact stats yet, but I will say that you know that it empowers him and that his eyes seem to be full of bloodlust, as well as you get the general key energies reverberating off of him of almost a hungry soul, as though he is now able to suck in energies himself and empower his body. You surmise that that bloodlust is there so that he can gain power by killing people.
What the fuck?
Like glory.
I think it was a good thing we didn't make these guys our enemies.
Yeah.
Let's go fight a.
And with
ice
that,
dragon.
the shaman will nod and say, I have set you off then. You have those 8 days, and however many days it takes for me to arrive at the lair of Malforic. Decide what you will with that time.
I will prepare for all inevitabilities. And with that, the shaman will walk away back to her hovel.
We will not let you down. That's what Sinbad calls out.
The shaman seems to not really acknowledge your words, and still walks off solemnly. And with that, Lord Crag looks to all of you and says,
It seems that the shaman has given us some leeway. I believe this is because you have all spoken of the town of Sumpin, and that there is some way we can receive more help there. I believe that these 8 days were given so we would have extra time to perhaps go over there, but that is all up to you. It will take us about... Let me look at my notes. I wrote.
You said 3 days to get to the town.
It was 3 days to go from Jackal's Pond from the town, so it's about 4 days to get to the town. And that's without... That was just with your small group, not with like a bunch of peeps. I do have notes for
Well, they
this.
siege the town is the thing. But they shouldn't be inhabiting it. It's only been like 4 days. I don't know.
It's best to head towards the town. Our companion Von Schwa should still be there.
Where are my notes, man? I'm finally arrived at the notes. 4 days from the Drowned Horde to Sumpin. 6 days from Draco's Pond to Malforic's Lair.
Oh.
So it is so you get like a 8-day head start, and it's about 8 days directly from this place to the to where at least it seems that the shaman thinks the lair is. And that
Wait, so
Lord Crag will tell you that. It says,
we believe from the others leaving that, and the knowledge that we have from those who have been scouting out, that Malforic is lying within the waterfall. So that would be about 8 days from here to travel to, depending on what point of the Great Haven waterfall Malforic truly has called home. But if we work quickly and the stuff in the whatever we're doing in the town doesn't last too long, then we might be able to still do it. But I will leave that up to you, as I do not know what is happening in the town, and all the knowledge we have gained is from what you have said. Is it worth it?
Well, sounds like something that should be put to a vote.
Oh, wow. I think it's more than worth it. After all, that's one of the main reasons why we came here, wasn't it?
Yes, very true. We wanted aid to assist the town that is currently under attack. My vote goes towards that.
Chris also agrees.
Agreed.
It seems that we don't have much of a discussion then. We shall go to Sumpin and try to free it from those Malforic's underlings, traitors. Then after that we shall make our way to his lair in the Haven Falls.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, wow. as we're talking about getting information, can I do a little check in, little Zoom call?
Zoom call with so
Mm-hmm.
you could, if you
With Sinoi.
look to Sinoi at the boat,
Oh, yeah.
you see that everything seems to still be pretty relaxed over there. They have stayed well away from any detection. They've had a few run-ins with crocodiles, but nothing that they couldn't scare off. And right now, currently, they're Reyna is trying to teach the Myconids how to play cards.
They weren't gonna. I guess they really can't fix the ship until everything.
Other times you have checked, they have like been working on miscellaneous tasks around the ship, but it just seems that you guys have been gone long enough that there's only so much they could do, and now they're kind of getting idle.
They do be idle.
Yell at them through Sinoi to start making the bear trap again.
Unfortunately, cannot.
You have already seen them try to do that again. Actually,
Yeah,
it is one of the
they
main
were working
things
on
they
that
said on
last
the
time.
side. Yeah, is like trying to work with their own tinkering.
I have faith in them.
I'm not sure how all of you are going to transport yourselves, but this is the group that I've been able to muster up, and they'll probably just the fastest path to something is probably through the rivers, but I can't promise that the fastest path will always be through the rivers.
Huh.
But that also leads to, it's easy to get diseased if you aren't on one of your ships, one of your boats. So we'll have to see. But for now, I think we'll be able to make our way with that vessel you took and us just swimming along.
Did that vessel get fogged?
The engine part got a little assaulted by a giant frog. But
I don't know that.
You don't know that. Truth.
Yeah.
Truth. Unless you guys have, your little out of character little meetups, telling
Let
each
them
other
know
things.
what happened.
Yeah, just like
over the late night stargazing.
By the way, we fought a frogiathan. Then you guys are like, we heard about that from Anyhow.
Oh, what do you know?
All right, so are you guys down to get in the boat and get ready for a great travel?
Yeah, let's get in the boat.
Let's get in the
Hell
boat.
yeah.
Let me drive the boat.
Get in the boot.
Yeah, let Sinbad drive the boat.
Trust me, I got this.
Out of
Crashed into the first
all
rock
the
I see.
people, I feel like Sinbad's one of the people with the least ship experience.
Yeah, I'll drive the ship.
Just
Never
kidding.
before
There's
have I
just
been
two
so
people
offended
that
by
are.
something so true.
There's two people. There's just like two people.
Feyre and Hundolfir.
Timothy! Woo!
Yeah,
pretty
Timothy
experienced
joins
with
our
ships.
army.
You see one of the.
Timothy!
Oh, sorry, I'm zooming into the wrong spots. You
You gotta
see.
watch out he doesn't get eaten.
No, the way he's introduced is you see one of the cannibals like jump in the water, wriggle around, and then bring out an eel, and he's like, I caught a little meal to eat before we go.
Hey!
What?
Give him here. Don't leave him alone. That's Timothy.
Y'all being greedy right now? Y'all trying to keep all the food to yourselves?
No, he's a friend. Fish are friends, not food.
You say eating them.
Why is that quote familiar?
My brother must have said it.
Give me that. I
Yes,
grab
most
Timothy.
likely.
Like wrangle him into the boat. shape water for a little bubble around his head.
This catcher seems to be upset, but he'll allow it. He'll be like, he'll just grumble. Be like, oh, it's my fucking food. I don't get it. Timothy cannot
toss
speak
him
to you
around.
all right now, but Timothy makes this blank expression that you see in the profile pic.
I pet his
Towards you.
head. Give him a little pet.
Timothy will wriggle against it affectionately.
We gotta augment him like the Men in Black guy, so he could be with us all the time.
Agent J?
Is that the fish guy?
Oh. No, that's Will Smith, I'm pretty sure.
I'm
Same
I'm
thing?
I'm more
For sure.
thinking about a minion from a monster. No. Megamind. Megamind. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. I definitely see it.
And either way, you all get them on the boat. Is there anything last preparations you guys want to make clear before you guys head off? I will, since this is basically the end of the session, allow you guys to think about it for 2 weeks, and then next time we play, let me know if there's
And level
additional
up.
things.
And
You
level
don't-
up.
Level up.
Don't
Yeah,
level up.
yeah.
We're leveling
Don't
up.
fucking level up. You don't level
We're
up.
leveling
I
up.
got
Can I
on the
level up?
boat and
Let's
leveled up.
go! Woo! Level up!
Level up!
Guys, I'm
Not
level 7.
a fucking level up. You guys don't
Let's
level up.
see what I get for being level 7, because I am now
You
level
can
7.
level up. That's actually so kind.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my god, level 7. I get cool stuff at level 7.
Thanks, DM.
Conceiving.
Are there
I'm gonna
any preparations you guys would like to make? Any
I'm gonna
specific
change my
things you
stats
want to
without
grab?
telling
What's the
I don't get
goddess again?
anything at level
I
7.
always forget. That's
I
the
don't
one
get
name
a
I
single
forget.
fucking thing.
So there's like 2 more piles of bones, right?
There's always
What's
more
the
piles
goddess
of bones.
name?
Get more skellies.
Graze!
I can get the horde. The horde.
You guys are able to get one froggy myth.
Sweet.
Can I kind of try to talk to Gracia? And
Actually, no,
Tell her
2,
to-
because Lord Craig needs one. Lord Craig gets one.
Just make it 3.
Nope. 2.
Okay.
ride one?
One for Lord Craig and one for Lord Craig's buddy.
What's his name?
buddy of Lord Craig?
No, he needs a name.
No, it's
Borkrag.
I was gonna say
Bor-
Borkrag.
It's not Borkrag. No.
You guys are all so funny.
It's
But like unironically.
it's Garn.
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 Oh.
Okay.
Hello,
Garn.
Garn.
Hi, Garn.
What is Garn? How does Garn react?
Oh, I thought you said Garp, like from One Piece.
Garn makes
Garp,
that
I
funny
love that.
reverberating noise that crocodiles do in their throat.
That's
Seems to be a
very
sign
cool.
of respect.
Let's go.
I wish I could recreate that noise somehow. They make such funny noises, crocodiles.
Best.
If Garn is as strong as Garp, then we're pretty set. I'm pretty sure we could beat anything on this plate.
You asked for more piles of bones. Do you just want to have them on hand, or do you want to do something to them?
No, I just want to have them on hand. We're gonna be traveling for like 3 days.
This
so
time, especially since the shaman's like, okay, you guys are part of the tribe. You guys did it.
you guys can take whatever.
Yeah, they're a lot cooler with you taking bones. And you do see within this group there seems to be 3 familiar crocodile individuals of the variety of the ones that were pissy at you for taking bones earlier. And you gave them
Good.
fish.
I have 3 days of fishing to catch them more fish.
It's true. It's exactly why they came, really. All right. And with that, as you guys get on the boat and you start up the engine, it sort of sputters. Definitely seems like it's a bit damaged, but it still is able to roar back to life. As you all huddle onto this boat, it's going to be a long 4 days till something. Hopefully you guys don't run into any trouble, and if you do, you got plenty of lads to help you out. Either way,
The
you're
lads.
bringing a great force. But this was only the start as the storm begins to grow worse. And we're going to leave it at
It's
that.
so ominous.
Dawn of the first day.
Dawn of the first day. The beginning of the hunt.
72 hours remain. Oh shit. This is actually so cool. This is the first time I've had a D&D experience where we legit recruited an army to fight with us for something.
Pretty dope.
Let's see how
There you go.
effective they are and how long
Yeah, I
they
hope they're
last.
epic,
Hee hee
cool
hee.
pog
Immediately.
champions.
I think a lot of them are gonna get probably launched up.
Hopefully
Better
not.
them than us.
You will
So
be
true.
you will
Smile.
be forewarned by Lord Crag and others that there are beasts in here in this in the rest of Brockmire, especially the north, that are very strong. Ones capable of killing even ancient black dragons in the past.
What the fuck?
Just keep in mind, if you see muck, if you see a green type of solidified saliva or acid, it's probably a Frogiathan. There are 4 known Frogiathans throughout the entirety of Brockmire. They usually won't attack you unless you go into their territory, but, well, we'll be going into their territory probably. And then also look out for tremors. If you see the water starting to shake in a strange way, or you feel shaken, then, well, be careful and try to, perhaps run in close and as far into land as possible, because tremors mean that a river king could be nearby, and, well, those things will kill you in an instant.
A River King, eh?
Big snake-looking guy with arms. They usually camouflage extremely well. They blend into reeds and such. It is almost, unless you have an especially keen eye, it is almost impossible to pick one out when they're in a river and truly submerged into the mud. Which is why you gotta look out for that telltale sign of some shaking. That'd be them getting ready to strike. Other than that, there's just a lot of diseased crocodiles, and Frogiathans and River Kings will surely give you a lot of diseases as well. But don't worry, you have us to protect you. And with that, we shall end the session officially. And I'll probably warn you guys about the big spooky monsters again, because Hundolfir didn't hear. All right.
Good, yeah.
Well, that's it. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you now for posting Among Us spam in the chat. Very great.
Yeah.
Very
Woo.
good.
Wouldn't be a real Twitch chat without you.
I love it.
It's true. It's true. And hopefully we'll be back on next Sunday. Not next Sunday.
No.
The Sunday after that.
Yeah, next Sunday is
And then the time might change again, because we might be doing it later again, because Jimmy will be back in California. In fact, we might change that for next time. Keep your eyes on the Twitter, which I very rarely use, but might use more soon? Question mark. We'll see.
You shall see.
Anyhow, bye bye. Thanks everybody for watching.
Bye, chat.
Bye chat.
Bye,
chat.
Bye bye bye
This
bye
kid-
bye.